Oh, we gotta have one.
Big mango.
Big old mango snapper.
Dude, that's a huge mangrove.
Bring it around.
Hey gang, today I am in beautiful Citrus County, Florida. A little bit different this time. I'm in Homosassa, Florida. Spent the night at the Plantation on Crystal River, then cruised over to McRae's on the river this morning to launch the boat with this guy, Captain William Toney, who is the man here in Homosassa, in my opinion, and looking forward to doing some fishing. We fished together years ago, getting to do it again. We got great weather. What do you think we got today?
Well, you know what? We got a good incoming tide coming up on a full moon. But you know, Mike, today is something I do all the time, and I tell people we got to fish with a purpose.
Okay.
Because if you don't catch a fish, you don't get to eat.
No lunch?
No lunch.
Oh.
You know, I'll you know,
no pressure.
You know, so you know, the shore lunch thing has kind of been a Homosassa tradition for years and years, and so you know, it's a way that I always tell people that travel through. If they don't want to keep any fish but love to eat fish, it's a good way to eat it fresh. But so, you know, we're going to target some trout today. If the tide gets up, it's a possibility we may get some others or something like that. So the sky's kind of the limit.
Okay.
And like I said,
shore lunch in Homosassa, Florida.
Homosassa with family's homemade guava jelly.
I don't know if it gets any better than that. And if it does, I don't need to know about it. We'll see what the good Lord gives us. Looking forward to doing some fishing. Hey gang, today I am in Citrus County, Florida, one of my favorite counties in Florida. I'm fishing out of Homosassa, Florida with Captain William Toney out of McRae's Resort right here in Homosassa. Beautiful, beautiful destination.
All right, Mike, what we got here, we're south of Homosassa here in Chesawisca, and there's a series of bars that run off the north side of the Chesawisca Channel and a deep cut and everything. So these trout have been laying up on these bars. Sometimes you'll see a lot of bait scattering. So, you know, what we'll do, we'll just kind of work it down in increments with the wind, you know, keeping the wind on our back, of course, making some really good long cast here. And a lot of times I'll always work mine with a little bit of more of a vertical bounce this way.
Okay.
Until we start catching them, then we can work from there. I always think of fishing as a little bit more a scientific approach. Colors,
100%.
technique, bite, and then every one you catch is a little bit closer clue to what they're, you know, biting and how it's working.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that people miss is they miss the scientific part of it.
Yeah, it's just solving an equation every day, kind of. You know, it's every day is a little different. You know, we got wind, we got, you know, weather conditions, you got, you know, atmospheric pressure, colors, tides, all that stuff.
And it's always changing.
Fish on, trout.
Nice fish too. Oh boy. Are we gonna be all right over that rock right there? Drifting wise?
Drifting, we'll drift over it.
Nice
trout. There we go.
Nice trout.
Trolling motor, we should be good. We're off the edge of it.
I was just worried about the hull.
Yeah. How deep do you draw?
14 inches or so.
Oh, here we go. Nice trout.
I'm going to go provoker too now.
Go provoker.
I'm going provoker.
Go on provoker. And
I'm chasing 3 fish here. I'm switching baits.
I would, if you caught 3, I think I'd be switching 2. And it could be on the outside of this rock, but you know, that would be another keeper our size here on the big bends, you know, 15 to 19 inch fish.
It's a great fish.
One over 19 in the boat, I guess, if you're having a tournament or not. But to be a keeper, but this one's grunting, and I say a lot of the trout that grunt are males.
Oh, really?
So, yep.
Huh, I did not know that.
Yep, I'm gonna get this one back in.
You know, I like to put guys in categories. And in my opinion, Captain William Toney is just one of those guys on the west coast of Florida that you almost put in, you know, I don't know if legend is the right word, but it's not far off. William has just been doing this for a long time at a really, really high level, you know, close to 25 years guiding on the west coast of Florida. in a beautiful place like Homosassa, doing really unique things. And his passion for fishing, his passion for conservation, he does a lot of work with the Guides Association here, working on their own limits and controlling and patrolling what these guides do here on the west coast of Florida. He's a pretty special guy. Really, really looking forward to today.
You know, Mike, looking at it, you would think it would just be a normal flat, but the way I gauge where the cast when I'm throwing, when you're down here, is look at the color changes in the water. You'll see like some of the darker areas will be this shorter grass. It would be like a widgeon grass or something like that, and then you got a lot of sand. And then inside those real light areas, you'll see a lighter kind of almost a brown orangish color. That's going to be ribbon rock or limestone. So a lot of times you'll find your fish are going to be right around the edges of those areas. Not all the time necessarily, but on most given days, you know, that's kind of what you want to target.
Well, an area like this where you only have real short grass, I mean, that's your structure.
It is a rock, exactly.
So they're using that as their ambush point.
Right. That and the break-off skegs.
Yeah.
We got to get the skeg.
Those two things. So as we were approaching this scheduled fishing day, you know, William and I were really starting to worry a little bit. You know, we've had really, really windy conditions here on the west coast of Florida, especially northeast wind, which tends to blow the water out of Homosassa and Crystal River, that whole area there. You know, we're not far from the full moon here, so the tide was going to be a little bit low anyway. So we had our concerns that maybe this show just, you know, we weren't going to be able to fish together today. But you know, the more we kept looking at it and the more he was fishing on the water, you know, we really wanted to take an opportunity to do this shore lunch experience. You know, I've heard about this for years here. It's a staple here in what I call the kind of old Florida sector, you know, Homosassa, Crystal River, that whole little swing there, Yankeetown. It's been a popular thing here for many, many, many years, and I've never enjoyed the experience, so I was really looking forward to doing it. William was catching some big, beautiful trout, so, you know, even with bluebird skies, we thought, heck, two of us on the boat, let's go fishing, we'll see what the good Lord gives us.
Nice one, Mike. What is falling?
I don't know, but that's a nice trout.
Oh, there's a school of Jack Crevalle or something right here. That's a jack.
That might be what I had.
It is, because there's a school of them right there.
Sure is. I thought it was a trout because it was just kind of shaking its head.
It was.
But
at first, I saw a little bit of that that silver at first. That's what's scaring all that bait right out there.
That'll do it.
Flats donkey.
Yep. Round we go.
Not really the best for shore lunch, but you know, if you want, I'll fry them up for you.
You're the best. Actually, it's not a bad jack.
No.
Light
you know,
tackle.
that's it, light tackle on a jack. I always said if you know people ever want, if they were like highly edible fish, they would have a limit on them like one a day because they have everything with sport fish except the they don't edibility.
Eat well. Yeah, they just don't eat well.
But if you want to catch something that's definitely going to work you out,
I'll tell you what, on this super light Tac X, it's a lot of fun because that fish is like like a trash can lid in the water.
Very strong.
I'm trying to catch trout here, and you're delaying the
trout.
Trying to get a meal here, son. Whacked him good's what I did.
Yep, I think he's a caught fish.
Yeah, that one wasn't getting away. Good fighting, little bugger. I knew you were gonna splash me, fool.
The Plantation on Crystal River is a beautiful 50-year-old, 232-acre Old Florida-style resort, offering comfortable accommodations and a full-service spa. They call this the Nature Coast for good reason. Fishing is spectacular, from snook, trout, and reds to big grouper and snapper. On-site activities range from golf to boating, fishing, and swimming with the manatees in the natural springs of Kings Bay. The Real Animals Fishing Show can't recommend a better place to stay on the Nature Coast than the Plantation on Crystal River.
You know, Homosassa is one of the areas, a lot of people ask me about it because I've been here several times to fish and film. You know, I'm like the smartest captain on the planet. When I get here, I immediately turn the helm over to the local guy, whoever I'm fishing with. In this case, Captain William Toney. This place is just crazy. I mean, I've been here a couple times. I've run my own boat here. I've left a couple lower units here myself. And I'm a quick learner. You know, if there's rocks everywhere, even where rocks aren't supposed to be in Homosassa, you can find some rocks. This is a very, very unforgiving place. Immediately I was like, you know, Captain William, I think you should drive today. I think you should lead us because you know where you're going and I don't.
Fish on.
Oh, nice.
Man, you know what? That's a gag grouper or a big mangrove snapper.
It's definitely not a trout.
Oh, we gotta have one.
Big mango?
Big old mangrove snapper.
Dude, that's a huge mangrove.
Let's see. Bring it around. It was right off the edge of that rock, you know. It's I thought it was a little gag grouper. You know what? I'm not afraid of eating mangrove snapper.
No, that's a good
you know?
that's a good lunch right
you know
there.
What? You know, I'll let you have the trout, Mike. I'll take the mangrove snapper.
Nice.
That
Wow.
was crazy. You know,
that is crazy.
but you know, we were talking about other species on the rock and everything, and a lot of times when the water temperature gets up like that, we got a myriad of rocks offshore here these mangroves will get on, and sometimes you'll get cobia and flounder and other things, but that's
a nice mango.
For you know, 3 or 4 foot of water.
That's a heck of a mango.
That's a big old nice mango.
I knew right away it wasn't a trout.
Well, the cool thing is now, I don't think we need to keep much more.
Oh, that's a pretty good lunch.
We got
right
a good
there.
lunch.
You know, it's always really exciting for me. You know, throwing artificials is my passion. It's my favorite thing to do. You know, I guide with live bait a lot, and we fish a lot with live bait on the show, depending on the conditions and depending on what we're targeting. But, you know, throwing artificials in fairly shallow water, that's where I cut my teeth. It's my very favorite thing to do in the whole world when it comes to fishing. And this is a great place to do that. You know, there's a lot of structure spread out over areas. So if you can get that wind at your back and kind of let that boat drift across, you know, you can throw into potholes and throw to ledges and throw to rocks and things like that. And, you know, this is a very fishy area. We had big, beautiful trout and, you know, a surprise giant snapper. I mean, this is a great way to learn to throw artificials at structure. It's a great practice game. Almost anybody can do this once they figure out how to make long casts. You got that wind at your back, that really helps as well. It's just a great area to just go and throw artificials and catch fish.
Fish on, fish on.
Got me a trout.
There's a trout. Nice. Come right off that little grass patch right there.
Yeah, nice trout too.
Here you go. Since you were nice enough to land mine, I'll land yours.
That whole provoker is in its mouth too.
It is.
That whole provoker is in its mouth.
That's a nice fish too.
Nice fish.
That's about 19 or 20 inch fish.
That's a nice fish.
Come here, Bobby. Come here. Get this out of my way. Come on, Bobby. There we go. Good?
Yeah, he hammered that provoker.
Yeah, you can tell these fish have kind of been spawning a little bit. They're a little beat up.
And this one's grunting too.
It's
so
probably a male.
Huh?
Yep. And a biologist told me that the percentage of males that are over 18 inches is almost none.
Really?
Yep. Most males are, you know, smaller than 16 inches. Come here, baby. Ow. And that's a big male.
That's a nice fish. Hey gang, this week's Real Animals Tackle Box, man, we really kept it simple on this fishing adventure. As usual, when I'm throwing artificials, I love this rod and reel combo right here. This is the Bull Bay Rods Bolt series. This is the 8 to 17 pound. It's a medium heavy, so it's got some backbone, but it's got a fast action tip. With 10-pound spider wire ultracast Invisibraid, you can make super long casts, even though the rod's only 7 foot long. If you're gonna throw artificials all day, I like to keep things light and simple. This is the Penn Clash 2 2500. Great little spinning reel. Again, light, great balance in this whole setup. We're using a 25-pound fluorocarbon leader, and for some reason, when I'm trout fishing, it's hard for me to go away from this MirrOlure Provoker. I don't know what it is exactly about this bait that trout just can't resist, but it doesn't matter whether you're fishing super skinny and working it weedless, or you're fishing in a couple feet of water like we were today, trout just pound this particular bait. This is the color that worked really good today. This is watermelon red glitter. Again, MirrOlure Provoker. It's a 5-inch jerk bait, phenomenal. We also caught some on this bait right here in Citrus County, Florida, works really good. This is Glow Chartreuse Tail. I've caught big snook up there on this bait as well, some redfish. So this is always a good color in this part of the state of Florida. So this is the whole combination that we use today. Again, 7-foot rod, medium heavy, fast action, Clash 2, Penn, great reel, versatile, long cast, 10-pound braid, 25-pound fluorocarbon leader, 1/8-ounce jig head. Make sure you use one like the MirrOlures with really good hooks on them. This is all the gear you need to do exactly what William and I did today. Get on out there and catch us some fish. Hey gang, this week's Real Animals Tip of the Week, I want to talk to you about my good friends at Penn Reels. You know, Penn Reels have been around for 90 years. That's 90 years of innovations and testing and evolution that they bring to each and every reel that they make. Great line of spinning reels, great line of conventional reels, very innovative, great drag systems. You know, for years and years and years, there were certain Penn reels that you could count on day in and day out. And in today's world, that's pretty special, not so easy to find. They've gotten lighter. The drag systems, again, are first class, sealed bodies. Corrosion protection is second to none. So if you're a saltwater guy like I am, Penn is an easy choice. Go to pennfishing.com, check out again, conventional reels, if that's your thing. They've got the best in the business. Spinning reels, the best in the business. Go to pennfishing.com. Check out all the great lineup from Penn Reels. I promise you won't be disappointed. You know, there's definitely a science to this shore lunch thing. You know, the burner and the oil. And I really expected, you know, William to have this giant Engel cooler just stuffed with, you know, different things to put this whole thing together. And he really had all his stuff in like 2 bags. You know, some coleslaw that we kept cold and some beans that we kept cold in the cooler. But other than that, he kind of created this whole thing, you know, the hush puppies, and, you know, it's really a unique experience, and one I can't recommend enough. You know, the beauty of this part of Florida, Citrus County, old Florida, I like to call it, being able to just get on this island and relax and enjoy the beauty of where you're at and what you just experienced. It's a trip that I won't soon forget. I have been doing shows for 16 seasons, and I don't know that I've ever experienced anything like this. I mean, really, seriously, the beauty of Homosassa, remember the thought process, everything you did to put this together in 40 minutes. Unbelievable. That is a heck of a day, my friend.
Well, it's a good
Well
day
done.
spent with good friends.
Yeah, there's a reason that you are a West Coast legend, my friend, and this might be part of it right here.
Well, it probably, it could be, you know, so like I say, sometimes the fishing can be so-so, but if you got a shore lunch, it's just the way
Saves the
to,
day.
you know, break the day up, and, you know, it gives you a goal. Some people want to go out and fill their coolers and fill the freezer, and some people want to go out and bend the line and catch and release some fish, but like a day like today, you can get enough fish to eat and not take too many from the environment, and still do a lot of fish, and then come back and hang out, relax, and just enjoy what you did for the day.
This is certainly a day I won't soon forget. Well done. Nice job, my friend.
Appreciate you,
Enjoy.
bud. Had a great day.
Yeah, no doubt.